Well, here I am again. Gran Turismo 7. I finally beat the game into submission and take out the little mini race. There's a little blinking yellow, here's your mission, here's what you got to go do. How is this a single player experience? This is what you're going to do. So I go there and it says, this is the car you need and here's how to get it since you don't have one. Okay, go buy this car. So now they're telling you, go buy a car that you may not want. How is that a single player experience? Here, spend credits on a car you don't want. How is that a player experience? I don't get it. And then you're going to go and run this car that's set up this way on this track. How is that a player experience? That's them trying to make a driving game. And they've never been successful at that. Okay? Wow. It's so sad. You know, this is the kind of race I prefer, where you have 20 different models, but they're all limited to run, the same, so their abilities are matched. But you can have a Mustang racing a 240Z. You know what I mean? That's choice. Being told, race this car, go buy it. First, go buy it, because they're not going to give it to you. So you're going to have to go buy this car, first off. You don't want it, but you're going to have to go buy it. And then I'm sure they won't let you sell it. They'll just let you remove it from your list after they've charged you for it. Now, how does that look when you have microtransactions in your game to buy cars? What does that look like when they're forcing you to do this, how does it look when these cars have no value when you're done? And then I'll guarantee you're going to win the same fucking car that you just spent your money on, okay? And then you're going to win a transmission that doesn't fit this car. It fits the 07 instead of the 03. That kind of shit. How is that an experience for a racing game? It's horrendous. I'm trying to forcing myself to go onwards so that I can just get the fucking Nürburgring open. That's all I'm trying to do. Period. And then I'll be done with their game. Okay? I'll be done. I find I have a real animosity towards Gran Turismo 7. I got to tell you, I have sent the first 3 or 4 hours that I played the game, I was confused how they could make a game that was so bad. How can you make a game so bad? How can you make one that, everybody complained, I don't want to listen to those guys. And I could care less about your history lesson about a car that I could care less about. But they forced it on people because they had to create something, okay? I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that this was going to be a PlayStation 5 game, sole PlayStation 5 release. I think I'll bet you money that 3/4 of this game that we're playing now was developed in the last 9 months, 10 months. It had nothing to do with car rendering or anything. They just had to come up with some kind of snappy little fucking let's make a game thing because they had to downgrade what they had to a PlayStation 4 game. It was no longer a next-generation Gran Turismo that they promised. This is a pre-generation Gran Turismo for the next-generation console. So I'll guarantee you that the next game they're going to come out with, half of that fucking game is sitting there complete. What they didn't give us this time. And this mishmash, fill your fucking pages the way this is the simplest kind of graphic design, right? The cards with a car behind it, blurred out. I mean, there is no work in putting that together. There is no work in putting that together at all. Or having some guy's face there like this with the look of idiotic glee, with a speech bubble telling you, now here's what you're going to do next. Or telling you all about the car you could care less about. That was done late. I'll guarantee you that was done in the last 7, 8 months of production because they realized they weren't going to be able to make enough PlayStation 5s. When the pandemic hit, they all went, oh, fuck. Now what are we going to do? Everybody's stuck at home. They're going to want to play Gran Turismo. We can't delay the game a year like we did every single time before. We've already delayed it a year. We can't delay it again. How are we going to turn this PlayStation 5 game into a playable PlayStation 4 game? And somebody said, oh, well, let's do this. And they just fucking went with it. That's really what I feel. It's that bad. And I've played every Gran Turismo. I take it seriously. I have foregone all the other race games for Gran Turismo. And so have thousands of other people, okay? Millions of other people. But I know lots of very serious Gran Turismo people that are still playing sport like me. They got burnt out on Gran Turismo 7 so fast. Most of those people, they're not interested in the single player content at all. At all. They're online racers, and that's what they want to do. And if you do that, there is no difference, none, that I can foresee with my human eyes. There's no fucking difference that I could see between Gran Turismo 7 and Gran Turismo Sport. It is the same fucking game. They already have the layouts. The dirt tracks. They didn't change the fucking dirt tracks. They're the same. It's all of the tracks are the same. There's very little work for them to do other than rendering cars. That was the whole big deal all throughout the lifetime of Gran Turismo was we have 600 cars, we have 800 cars, we have 1,200 cars. Remember that? All that mattered was how many fucking cars we had. And then it's like, oh, we've got 3,000 cars, but half of them, the interior is just a black blob. Don't worry about that. Those aren't the completed cars. Remember? Come on. And they fucking delay it every year. Polyphony and Sony have not been good to Gran Turismo fans. We are dedicated, and they have not been dedicated to us. This game here proves it, okay? And the fact that we didn't get the PlayStation 5 game we were promised. No upgrade in graphics. I mean, what, that much? Oh, 5 more fucking pixels and I'm supposed to be impressed? I'm not. Look, well, instead of 6 o'clock, it looks like it's 7:30. The lighting is 7:30. You could only do 6 o'clock before. Oh, what a shame, Gran Turismo. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you, really. I do, okay? These guys just got a hold of you and just, bent you over and did you hard and then just kicked you to the curb, man. All they cared about was selling PlayStations and making sure that, they spent as little time and effort as possible on this game because they knew it was going to be for PlayStation 4. They knew what they were doing a year, as soon as the pandemic started. They have smart people there. They're not stupid. They knew exactly what was going to happen. The very minute Americans started dying, they knew, and it's in the press 24/7, what was going to happen. And see, they lied. They said they had 10 million PlayStations ready to go. But they lied because they could lie. They thought they could get away from that with that lie because there wouldn't be a frenzy to buy them out the first run, that they would have time to up production, and then all of a sudden, bam, they're like, oh, fuck, we can't make enough chips, we can't get enough parts, we can't. What are we going to do? Well, first off, it's going to be a PlayStation 4 game. We have to pull all of this content out and save it for the game we were going to produce, and this is what we're going to fill it with. Simple fucking graphics and smiling faces telling and forcing you to do shit you don't want to do.